Hello guys, today we'll talk about renin-angiotensin system, and we will talk also about some antihypertensive drugs which is acting and inhibiting this cycle. So renin-angiotensin system are beginning here from the glomerular. So when too much sodium are filtrated from the glomerular, sodium will stimulate the cells which is located in the glomerular is called juxtaglomerular. So too much sodium filtrated, sodium will stimulate juxtaglomerular. Juxtaglomerular will produce renin. Renin will convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Angiotensinogen is produced by the liver. So renin will convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Then angiotensin 1 are converted to angiotensin 2 by enzyme which produced by the lung. It's called angiotensin converting enzyme. So its angiotensin converting enzyme is produced by the lung, converting angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Then angiotensin 2 is acting on the adrenal gland, stimulating adrenal gland and produce aldosterone. So angiotensin 2 stimulating adrenal gland are producing aldosterone. Then aldosterone are acting on the receptors of the tubules of the nephron and make reabsorption of sodium and water. So too much sodium are filtrated from the glomerular. Sodium will stimulate juxtaglomerular. Juxtaglomerular will produce renin. Renin will convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Then angiotensin 1 converted to angiotensin 2 by enzyme is called angiotensin converting enzyme, which is produced by the lung. Then angiotensin 2 are stimulating adrenal gland. Adrenal gland are producing aldosterone. Then aldosterone acting on the receptors of the tubules of the nephron and make reabsorption of the sodium and water. So sodium and water, when it's reabsorbed into the circulation, sodium and water will be reabsorbed to the circulation, lead to increasing blood pressure. So that's occur normal physiological, but in hypertensive patient, hypertensive patient that lead to increasing blood pressure too much. So there is some antihypertensive drugs which are inhibiting this cycle. So there is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. So these drugs, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, are acting on the angiotensin converting enzyme, inhibiting this enzyme. So this antihypertensive drug is called angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, inhibiting this enzyme. So angiotensin 1 can't convert to angiotensin 2. So that drug is called angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, acting on the angiotensin converting enzyme. So can't angiotensin 1 convert to angiotensin 2. So inhibiting this cycle and inhibiting reabsorption of the water and sodium from the nephron. So there is another drug, it's called sartan. Sartan is acting and inhibiting angiotensin 2, blocking the receptors of the adrenal gland. So there is receptors of the angiotensin 2 in the adrenal gland. So sartan is blocking these receptors. So angiotensin 2 can't stimulate adrenal gland to produce aldosterone. Sartan blocking the receptors of the angiotensin 2 on the adrenal gland, so angiotensin 2 can't stimulate adrenal gland to produce aldosterone. There is also spironolactone. Spironolactone is blocking receptors of the aldosterone here on the tubules of the nephron, blocking the receptors, so aldosterone can't stimulate the tubules of the nephron, so can't reabsorb of the water and sodium from the nephron. So AC inhibitor blocking the enzyme which converting angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Sartan is blocking the receptors of the angiotensin 2 on the adrenal gland, and spironolactone is blocking receptors of the aldosterone on the tubules of the nephron. So the renin-angiotensin system are beginning from the glomeruli. When too much sodium are filtrated, sodium will stimulate juxtaglomerular. Juxtaglomerular will produce renin. Renin will convert angiotensin G to angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 converting to angiotensin 2 by angiotensin converting enzyme. Then angiotensin 2 will stimulate adrenal gland. Adrenal gland will produce aldosterone. Aldosterone will act on the tubules of the nephron and make reabsorption of the sodium and water. That with too much sodium in the circulation will increase blood pressure. So there is some drugs which inhibit these cycles. Angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor which block the renin-angiotensin cycle from here, and sartan are inhibiting from here, and spironolactone blocking the receptors of the aldosterone. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to get all new videos, easy explanation and quickly understanding.